How many of you have got scraps and you need to figure out what to do with them? Well, we'll discuss that today, and I'll show you some of the ideas that I have for using up scraps. Hello and welcome. If you didn't know, I'm Linda Israel, and I'm so glad to have you here with me today. This live stream started at 3:45 p.m. Central Standard Time on August the 24th. It is at least 105 degrees here in Oklahoma, just outside of Oklahoma City in Yukon. It is hot, hot, hot. Julie, thank you for being with me, as well as Jennifer. Anybody else that's here in the chat, do speak up. Jennifer, when I answer, excuse me, Julie answered my question. Me! She has lots of scraps. I know, we all do. We save them, right? So, some of what I do is when I do a project, I will kind of collect all of the scraps into one spot. If I am diligent, I will go ahead and sort them by color. So I went through my little bucket here and I pulled all the pieces that were pink and put those aside. You know me? Do you know me, Jennifer? And then here's all the blues that I found in this. I found quite a few brown and gold pieces in here. This was another spot, but I put it in here because it was small scraps. Ooh, I see one that I might want to use. And then this is what I call mostly ivory white and text scraps. And then there's still a little bit left in here, but if you can tell, it is not overflowing like it was before. So the first thing I would say is if you have scraps, put them all in one area if they're not already sorted. And then when you have some time, I did this while I was watching TV. I just pulled out a couple of bags. We get things in the mail, or maybe you have some envelopes that you'd like to sort in. Whatever it is that you'd like to store your scraps in, do it as a multi-step process. So I started going through here and picking out, well, that's kind of black, and find some more scraps. Like here's another black scrap. And I know that there's some more down here. So once you start collecting all those scraps, like that doesn't go in there, then you can put those into a container. And then that way, when you're ready, you can say, I need something black. And so you can grab that black pile. Another thing that I do is I sort mine, and I use these large priority mail boxes. I had a bunch of them because I had started shipping in these boxes when I first started my store, and I couldn't throw them away because I'm not that type of person, and the post office doesn't want them back because they've been out of their area and they don't want that back because, maybe I've tampered with them. So I covered them with book pages. And then I went ahead and I painted the fronts, and I added a little pull tab because of the shelf I put it on. They're real tightly packed together. And then inside I'm trying to get the camera. I have this big Ziploc bag. Let's kind of pull that out. That has lots and lots of purple scraps. So that way, I need a purple scrap, I can grab that and get going. I'll put this back here out of the way. That's one way to sort them. However you do it so that it makes sense for you. Maybe that you prefer to just get rid of your scraps. Maybe you don't want to have them. That's fine. Pass them along to someone else, or you can just throw them away. A thing Well, see, and you may not need that much. And that's maybe the key for you, Julie, is you have a set parameter. For example, say you made this little basket. That's all the scraps that you can keep. And you've got them sorted by color. And you can't put any more in here until you use what you have. And that way, you're not adding to it over and over. I have an abundance of space, so I can put them just about anywhere. I've got stuff piled up all over the place. I have a full walk-in closet in this room that I can open the door, but you can't get in the closet because it's rather full at the moment. So like this is one of the things that I made when I was sorting. I thought I would make a few things. This is a book page that the color's been altered. You can use acrylic paint. You can use distress ink pads. You can use tattered angels. You can use just about anything that you want to change the color. You can coffee dye it, tea dye it, Kool-Aid dye it. You can buy a package of food coloring and mix your own dyes. And this is another book page here. This was a fussy cut element, piece of scrapbook paper, piece of scrapbook paper. This is just an ivory cardstock, but I went around and stamped on the edges. This had, I think said hello on here. And I had this little element from Calico Collage, so I just stuck that on there. I think this is also from Calico Collage. You know, that way I can just make my own little things when my mood strikes. If you are working on a particular journal and you want a certain colorway, then you can pull the colors that you have and make something out of the scraps before you start pulling big sheets out. Yeah, get you a basket or a box or a container. You know, this is another little container that I was given, and I think it's like, it says 8x8 project case. I've just been putting all of the elements that we made the past month and a couple of weeks inside here for now. So going back to the journal, we started by using the scraps I had left over and making a few elements. Here I showed how to do these journal cards. This was some what I call gel print mop-up papers where I would kind of go around the edge and get the excess paint off. And I want to start on this page just because of the way I've got it laid out. So I'm going to grab a few things here. So I've got a sticker. I've already stuck a pen through where I need to peel it apart. I've got, this is a map page, but I don't really care to see the map page. I just want to put something on it. So this is a book page. So if you're trying to figure out how do you get multicolored papers or papers of different colors without buying a whole lot of paper, this is a book page. You can see the back side of it, book page, that was painted with white acrylic paint. I used the craft paint because it accepts other colors on top of it. You could just flat paint it with whatever color you choose, but I chose to do the white acrylic or ivory acrylic paint. And then I came back in and I kind of did a watercolor effect by using Tattered Angel's Glimmer Mist and a paintbrush and kind of moving it around. If you don't have Tattered Angels, there's all other kinds of products out there that you can use instead. Even watercolor paints, if you so choose. You can use food dye. There's all kinds of stuff you can use. So I've got, oh, thank you so much, Smoking. Thank you. I appreciate Smoking Track 7. Thank you. I think that's right, Trick. Smoking Truck. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Hello. And so I just went ahead and added some little tabs on the back side. I trimmed this down. I went around the edge with some rubber stamping. So this will fit on my map page. I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Okay, this is a book page, so it's not slick. Sometimes if it has a coating on it, Aleene's tacky glue doesn't want to stick. But today it is paper to paper. And I'm just going around the edge with a little bit of glue. So how is everybody? Did you have an amazing week? Did you get into your craft chaos stash and make something? I hope that you did. I was sorting last night, just trying to prepare for today. It's been so hot that I haven't been outside a whole lot. I want to make sure that I'm not too high on the page. Get that smooshed into the book. It's been so hot. We've been trying to stay indoors as much as we can. Oh, that's Tony. Okay. Hey, Tony. It's like, I don't remember the smoking truck before. So, hello, Tony. Okay, I like that. Just kind of getting that down on the page. And then I had a gel print little scrap that I made into a pocket. So this measures, let's see, 3 3/4 by 2 1/4 in size. And I thought it would look cute down here on the bottom. Now, since this is a painted page, I am going to use Fabri-Tac to glue it down. You finished all the fussy cutting. You hope you don't find more? Well, of course you will. I have a couple of envelopes of items that I need to fussy cut, but sometimes it's just so much work. I do a little bit at a time as I think I might want to use them. All right, I'm going to put this one down here on the bottom, kind of in the middle. Now, this back page I made as a pocket so we could put a card in it. And then this one is also a pocket. Now, I have this little tag from one of my other sessions that I thought would look cute in there. And should I use this little image that has the hydrangea like this one, or should I use this one that I think this is flax and maybe something else with it? So which one of those should I put on top here? And I probably should look for a purple scrap to go behind that. So while I am letting you decide which one works, I'm getting this out because I may use that later. Oh, and I see something else I may want to use. Oh, this is a jackpot. I found some more purple pieces in here. I didn't look through this. I just saw that I had set it aside. And there's some pretty purple pieces. All right, let's just lay that aside. Linda, don't get distracted. I have this piece of purple. I think that's what I'll do. I'll just cut this to fit behind. You do it all at once? Yeah, a lot of people will sit down and do it. My hand gets tired from hanging on to the scissors, so I'll just go ahead and do a little bit here and there, and I do it based off of whatever project I'm working on. Because if I don't need a whole bunch of pieces already cut up, I just do what I need. All right, so do we want to do the hydrangea, or do we want to change the flower? Let me get my distress oxide, or just distress ink, not distress oxide, just distress ink. And I'm looking to see which side. This is a textured paper. Ruh-roh, Julie's got Wi-Fi problems. Okay. I'm kind of thinking I'll use the hydrangea with the hydrangea behind it. I'm going to set that over there for now. I kind of like that idea. All right, so I'm going to glue these two together. Again, using the Aleene's tacky glue. I also started kind of going through some of my stash things to think about what I want to use with the, I think it's called Woodland Floor by Calico Collage. I had already printed the pages. I didn't print any of the fussy cut elements. So I'm thinking maybe I might print one or two of them, not the whole series, and get those fussy cut out. Yeah, turn the paper instead so you don't have to hold the, yeah, that's what I do. But still, when you're doing, I don't know, 15 to 20, 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper full of fussy cuts, then it gets tiresome. Okay, I like that. I'm wondering if I should also go ahead and see if we have a word phrase that word phrase that we think will work. How about always dream big? It looks like I need to make some more. I think that'll look good there. Noticing that my stash of pre-stamped words are starting to dwindle. All right, let's go ahead and glue that one down too. Don't like your lower back gets tired from sitting and working? Yeah. Yeah, I was sorting last night and I was like, okay, I gotta stop. So I had to move everything out of the way so I could get up, walk around a little bit. Okay, I like the way that looks. And then this should just fit right down in there. I made sure that the glue didn't come above. Now for back here, this is another way to create your own papers. And I know on screen this looks blue, but it is purple. So my computer screen may not do it justice, but it's a dark purple on here. And this was made on glossy paper, so it's matte on one side and glossy on this side, using alcohol inks. So if you have alcohol inks, or if you have some old markers, you can do the technique where you pull the guts out of it and you stick it in some alcohol and it tints it, and you can use the alcohol to do that. And I thought that would be a pretty card to just put in here. I did not put anything on the back side. Do we leave it messy, or do we add another piece of paper on top of this white back? You know, it's all personal preference. Do you like the idea of using a piece of paper that already had something on it, or do you want to do something that gives you a unique perspective to write? I just saw something here. I don't know if it's too big. I could glue one of these to the back side. I think I'll do that. My mother-in-law gets these little tablets of paper in the mail because they're all trying to get her to donate money to whatever cause it is. And she has so many of them that every week that I go over there with Henry to eat dinner, she'll hand me a handful. It could be one or two. It could be a whole bag full. It just kind of depends on how much came in the mail. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and glue that down on the back side. Mainly when I'm sitting for long periods of time, I have problems with my hips. So I have to get up and do what they call hip openers, where you get down on the floor and kind of move your legs back and forth, or I have to do some stretches. Okay, I like that. I was thinking about, if I didn't lose it, I've got a little piece of fabric here of putting this on the side so that when it was in the pocket, if I can get it in there without any issue. So that would be in there, and we could use that to help. It goes in further, but it would help to pull it out. So I'm going to put a couple of drops of glue on it and put that in right here. I didn't get it in the center, but that's okay. I think now I've got this little butterfly, and I was just thinking of putting the butterfly on the page like that. Should I put a writing space on top there? Let me look in my scraps and see if there's something. I have this piece of purple. I'm kind of thinking maybe just cutting a little block to put down here. Yeah, sitting for long periods of time. Got to take care of your body. We only have one. We're not like the $1 Million Man that was bionic and he could go in and get a surgery and get replacement pieces. Just going to add some distress ink. So this is again some of my scraps. I put all of them into a little envelope with all the purples and whatnot that I thought I would want to use. And I think let's do some stamping. We did stamping here. I'm going to grab a little scrap of paper here. And let's look at some rubber stamps. What do I want to use? I always use the henna rose. So I'm trying to use different stamps. I might use that one. Let's see what else we've got here. I'm thinking I'll use this one. Get an acrylic block. This one will fit. That is the heart flower branch. Put my scrap over here in my purple scraps. All right, let's get out some black ink. I think I'm just going to just stamp it around the edge. I know it limits some of our writing space, but that's okay. Okay. Clean off the stamp, put this away. Okay, let's put the stamp back. I'm trying to be very diligent about putting things back where they belong. All right, so I'm going to stamp or position this right here on the bottom. Just making sure that glue is sticking. And then I'm thinking of putting this up here. And then maybe we'll get a word or a phrase. Okay. Just using all these little scraps and different configurations to embellish a journal. Since this was a glossy paper, that's why I used the Fabri-Tac glue. Put that away. And I want to use this sticker, so I'm just going to peel off the backing. Kind of use this as a placement. I think I want to put it right about there. Rub that down. Throw away the cover piece. And then let's look here. I think I saw the word journal in here. Where did I see that? There it is. So do we want ivory? I think I want ivory, and I may position it like that. I think that works. All righty. Put it back in the package. Since I've done that, it makes it so much easier to find these when I want them because they're all contained together. Okay, I think that'll work. I'm going to put this right here and glue that into place. Yeah, I think it's important if you want to be happy in your creative space that you make a spot for your things that you know that's where it goes back when you're done using it, or that's where it resides all the time. For example, Jennifer gave me these little jars, so now I keep my bone folders and one of my Fabri-Tac glues there. And this is the new one she gave me, and so I've got my scissors and a hole punch. Things that I kind of use frequently is right there in an easy place to find it. All right, so this was a scrap, this was a scrap, this was a scrap. And this was a little tear-off thing from my mother-in-law. So I'm just going to pop that into this pocket right here. Yeah, you don't want your space to look like a pile of mess. It would kill your creative mojo completely. I get it. I'm a chaos crafter. I have stuff everywhere, but I'm trying to do better of putting things away. Henry makes fun of me. He goes, "You always put everything in a container." And I says, "Because things need to be contained. If I didn't have this in a container, it would be chaos all over the place. How else would I sort them and be able to find what I need?" All right. I'm going to come back to this page. On this side, I have, this is a piece of, this is green linen text weight paper that I sprayed with Tattered Angels and kind of rubbed it a little bit, it looks like, maybe with a paintbrush. And then this is one of those tear off notepad pieces. So I was thinking of putting that down. I don't know if I need this on top of it. I think we could get away with just doing this piece, but I want to add something to the edge. So I'm going to remove that. And now I am going to use the Hen of Rose, and I'm going to stamp around that edge real quick. I'm not adding a lot of texture to it because I want to make sure that I have plenty of space for writing. Okay. Find some of your favorite stamps that would make great borders. All right, that's going to go over here. So I'm just going to glue it straight down onto the map. My glue flows freely because I added a little too much water the last time I was adding glue. So I tried to not put too much, but enough that it will stay. Okay. Get a drink. All right, this side is the back side of a gel print page where I had cleaned up the gel print edges, kind of mopping them up on a scrap of paper. So what do I want to put on here? I found this a moment ago. This is just a book page that was sprayed with Tattered Angels, and then I stamped down the edge. And since it's already kind of got a smoosh up there, let's do this. I've got my Distress Oxide ink pad, and I'm just going to grunge up the page a little bit. There. And then we'll put this over the top, and that'll give us a little bit of something on the page. Oh, cool. So you've made little turnstiles to put your stuff in. Cool. Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can. Where's my phone? Maybe I'll see it. Ba, ba, ba. Oh, I see. Kind of like a lazy Susan that has stuff in it. That makes sense. Okay, I get it. That's cool. I kind of done that. I have a lazy Susan over here that I put. I need to move this so I can get to it better. Let's see if I can grab it. So I've got a little lazy Susan that I picked up at our, well, that's at Garden Ridge. Remember Garden Ridge? Anybody remember Garden Ridge? And I had this little caddy bag that I put on top of it. This came in handy at my last little retreat that I went to because I was afraid I would forget things. So I tried to put stuff in here that I thought I would use when I was away from home. And that became very handy to have the little turnstile because you can move it around. Then I've got another bigger turnstile. Why aren't you turning now? What are you hanging up on? Oh, must be this. That I got a long time ago. Oh, I lost something. Oh, well. There we go. It turns. Okay, I like that. Just keeping it simple. Let's see what phrase we could put over here. How about my thoughts linger here on the page. All right, let's put that right here. Okay, and then I saw some, well, I was trying to see if I had some little flowers I wanted to use. I don't know if there's any in here. There might be one. It's kind of a pale purple. I don't know. Is that too much? Or maybe I should put it at the bottom and then add a leaf. I need to stamp a bunch more of these. Maybe from the bottom. I think that works. Another thing that I made to help keep sorting was, this is another priority mailbox, and I covered it with scrapbook paper, and then I found these 5x7 little envelopes on Amazon, and I think they come in really handy to put my things that I think I want to use in it. Hi, Amanda. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's glue these down. Put a little bit of glue on there. I think right about there. Okay. I like it. Okay, so simple ways to add color to the page was, this was sprayed with Tattered Angels. This, I just rubbed the ink pad all over. This piece of book page was sprayed with Tattered Angels and then stamped on top of that. All right, let's flip this over, back over here. I need to do something with this page. So I'm going to put in a scrap. It's just a plain book page. There's not really anything on it. So I'm going to grab a stencil. I think I'll do this one. That was part of the daydreaming kit that I did a while back, many, many years ago now. You used old silver-plated coffee and tea sets to store supplies in. Oh, that's cool, man. I bet you that looks so, so chic and clever. That's neat. One of my containers over here is a faux, what is it, a cookie jar? I don't know. Oh, this says Grandpa's Money. My mom used to have these. She sold them. And I just took some of them. There's like 3 different sizes. And I don't keep the Grandpa's Money portion out facing. It's in facing in the little container. But it's handy to be able to visually see things. All right, so let's use some Dusty Concord again. And I'm going to load up my distressing brush, and I think I just want to add a little bit of color to the page, maybe in the corners. Now let's see if that's what we want. Okay, do a little bit more over here. I'm just going to go lighter and kind of go over the whole page, but lightly, so it doesn't add a whole bunch of color. So it kind of gives that faded look. I like it. Set this to the side. Now, since I've got this side open, I might as well stencil this one as well, but let's do a different stencil. This is from one of my stencil clubs. I think it's from May 2020. No, that's not right. That's not the right one. I saw it here a minute ago. It's from February of 2020. So this is that stencil there. Okay. Let's do some more. Trying to make sure I don't get too far here. See how this looks. So another way to add color is to use a stencil and add a little color through that stencil. Okay, that works. I'll set these aside, close this up. Let's go back to this side. This is one of the scrap pieces that I made using a book page that had been sprayed with tattered angels. I have a couple of circles of book page and scrapbook paper. This is a sticker and then a little word from stamping it from Beeline Designs. You love that stencil? Isn't it pretty? You can't see it, you don't use it, so you're always looking for pretty ways to sort things. Well, that's kind of what we were talking about earlier with even Julie. She says, I don't have a lot of space for things, and you have to be able to limit yourself with, okay, I can only fill this up, and then I can't add any more to it. I like it. And since we're doing birds, I thought this one would be kind of pretty to put on this side of the page. What do you think? It's a painted book page again that I stamped on top of. So if you don't have the ability to print digital images, or you don't have a lot of ephemera, well, look at your paper differently and use those scraps to stamp on it. Okay, I like that. We have a word phrase there. This page, I just went ahead and glued down one of those tear-off sheets and used some washi tape on the top and the bottom, just trying to keep it relatively simple. On this side, though, I have a altered paper clip that I made a while back but hadn't used. And then I've got some elements here that I thought would look good. And one of those is using a strip of paper. I had used this around the edges of a gel plate when I was gel printing. And so it got all kinds of yummy colors. And I'm just going to glue that down somewhat in the center here. Give that a little coaxing. And this one's going to be really simple. I have a piece of brown craft paper. I have one of these that we made during the first session. This is watercolor paper that I've added a few things. And this I made a while back using a mop-up paper that I stitched onto a piece of cardstock. So that's going to go in here. And I don't need to decorate this piece because when this is dry, that's going to go right through there. I don't want to put too much in there and make the glue lift. So I'm just going to lay those on top. And then I have this altered paper clip that I can put on the page to help keep everything contained if I need to. Yeah, limit yourself by space, right? So you saw a video on YouTube, it goes, glass plates and 3 glass vases to glue together with strong glue of some sort. Oh, that sounds really pretty. I've done some other stuff in the past, but I haven't done that. Yeah, they do sell it in little tubes. Where was it that I saw some? You might check if you have like a dollar store in Australia. I don't know if they sell E6000 there because it's probably toxic and whatnot. But you can find, I don't know how well this will work, but Gem Tack is a permanent glue. There's a couple others out there. You may already have something. If you have like Gorilla Glue also works too. All right, so this page is just brown. It doesn't have anything on it. Oh, you know what? I have this little pansy. If I can get one out. It's a faux postage that I made. And I just did some watercoloring on it. I'll put it up here at the top. And I think I'll just leave the rest of the page. Spotlight has it. There you go. Yeah, you might look there and get you a little tube. If you seal it up when you're done, it'll last. I highly recommend that you put it in a sealed container, like a zipper bag or something, just in case you didn't get the lid on all the way. Okay, so we did that side. And then we have this one. I'm going to use this one that we didn't do anything with earlier and put it on the page here. But I may put it at the bottom, just so that I don't always put things at the same spot. A lot of the containers that I use in my space are repurposed items that were meant for something else, and I use them in my craft space. Yeah, it isn't, but it does look like manila. It was some kind of paper that my mother-in-law had, and she gave me a little package of it. It was actually bigger than 8.5 by 11 by just a fraction, so I trimmed it to fit. This was a mop-up page. You can kind of see where it went on the corner, and I found this little watercolor that I did, flower, And I thought, well, that'll be kind of pretty to add to the page. Using that watercolor mop-up technique. Chattered Angels. Let's put a phrase. Let's see what else I have here. Live your best life. How about if we put that on the page? And that'll kind of break that up a little bit. And of course, you could leave the pages somewhat blank until you're ready to start writing. Kind of like that. I don't have anything for this side of the page yet. I wonder if I have any more little pieces here. I think, oh, I've got some butterflies. Maybe we'll stencil that one too. So let me find a different stencil. I'm going to lay that in here. Put my glove back on at least. Let's pick a different stencil so I'm not using the same one over and over and over. Oh, let's use this one. We'll get some bigger little spots. It's kind of a open lattice type thing. All right, so here's the edge. Let's see how that looks. Okay. I'm just using a light hand, so I'm not putting a whole bunch of color down. I think that works. How's that? Adding a little bit of color. You remembered! Hello, Austin. Welcome, welcome. We have Tony. He's probably lurking. He's probably working. And Austin today. So the men have joined us. Henry, haven't seen Henry in here, so I don't know if he's watching or if he's playing with the dog. Longa Burger. Oh, Longa Burger was a baskets. Okay. I'm going to distress this. Maybe put that over there. Put this back over here. I think, do I have any? There's a darker one. I don't know, I was thinking of just gluing just a little strip of this, like down the edge of the paper. Why not? Why not, they say. I'm going to trim off this frayed portion just a little bit. I need my fabric scissors for that. All right, so there's a little scrap of fabric. Put that over here. Got a little bin that I put stuff in. I'll save those. All right, so I'm going to put down some glue here. And then we'll glue this. Okay. I'll trim that. And then I've got a tiny little scrap left. I'm going to lay it on top there. And then I was thinking of putting that kind of beside it. I have multiples of those. I think one right there would be good. All right, so on this side of the page, this was a gel print on a book page, and I found this piece of lavender scrapbook paper, and I thought, well, what if I were to layer a few little pieces here? This is something that Jennifer gave me. I picked out one, Jennifer, of those fussy cut things. You have to remind me to bring them back to you when we get together again. All right, put the scissors away. Get a drink. I just found something else that's purple. Now, you don't really see it behind there, but I'll save it. Maybe we'll find another spot for it. Okay, so these are all scraps. So let's go ahead and glue this one down. I've got a painted page, so I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac glue. Can't get a hold of it now. There it goes. This was a relatively simple journal that I put together because I grabbed all these scraps of paper that were miscellaneous prints left over from gel printing or mop-up papers from projects that I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with them. Okay, I'm going to put that up here. Put that right there. Should we stamp on that? I think I need something on here. So, oh yeah, let's do this. I've got the postcard collage, I think is what it's called. So I'm just going to grab a scrap of paper here and the black ink, and then we'll do the edges. I think that's good, just adding a little bit of texture to it. Slide it back over. I'm trying to decide if I should change the... No, I think I want it over here. Maybe put that right here. Something like that, maybe. Oh yeah, they were a hand. The baskets were that home direct sell type thing. You had a catalog, and the hostess wanted you to buy as many as possible because then she got free stuff or discounts. I can't remember which. My mother-in-law loved them. I think it was because a lady that she did a Bible study with was in love with them, and so she ended up buying a bunch of those baskets. I think now you could probably find them at thrift stores. I'm going to put this right here. Although now I'm feeling like this doesn't fit here. I've got a dragonfly. I'm going to put that there. There. I changed my mind about this one. Maybe we'll find a different spot. Maybe I'll just put it in a pocket. All right, so then moving on. This pocket set that I created was a piece of cardstock that I had run through my embossing, what do you call that, a Sizzix, and I embossed it, and it just ripped. There's places where it just ripped right through. So this paper wasn't very sturdy. I ended up trimming it down. I ran a distress ink over the top of it just to kind of age it a little bit. And then I added a piece of paper to the back to add room for a pocket. And I've got 2 journal cards here. I found in my stash these little faux postage stamps. I thought one on each side would be kind of cute. What's funny is I used to get baskets and I would line them. That's something that I did. And then Longerberger came out and started selling the liners that go in their baskets. Again, using up some more of the scraps by... And then I think this will go down here. So I'm going to glue this on the page. Seasonal, yes, seasonal liners, exactly. So you could keep the same basket out, but you had to buy all the different seasons so you could change it quite frequently. All right, so I want to make sure when I put this on the page that it's down just far enough that my card doesn't stick out the top. I'm just adding a little bit of glue here. All right, let's move this out of the way. Okay. Stick to the page. I don't know what I want to do. Oh, that might be good here. Okay. Give that a moment to glue. So I have a couple of just plain journal cards here that I want to put in the pockets. You know what we haven't done? Let's make little page tabs. Let me see if I can find something purple. Here's a big piece of purple paper that I think I was playing around with stamping, and I did a bunch of layers. Oh, I think this was digital. I was playing digitally with that. I'm going to get out my paper punch and an acrylic block to help me. And I'm going to punch a couple of these on the edges. So if you've got a big punch and it's hard for you to get a good crisp image, turn it over, place your paper in, put an acrylic block over the back of it, stand up, and then press. Okay. I'll put that back in my purple stash. Put this back over here. Put this back over here. Get a drink. All right, now I'm going to fold this over. And I'm just going to go around it with some distress inks. It matches because it's purple. Let's do this one the same. Oh, she made them, huh? Was she an underwater basket weaver? That used to be the joke. You were going to go to school to become an underwater basket weaver. I think I want to put one tab on this side and one on the other. So I'll just glue these into place. If you don't have a paper punch to make these little tabs, you can find templates on the internet and you can just trace them out onto your paper. If you can find your envelope punch board, you can make them too with that. There's lots of tutorials out there for that. Probably not an underwater basket weaver. All right, that's on that side. I'm going to put this on the side. I guess technically it doesn't really matter because these cards are two-sided, and so is the little punch that I used. All right, smush it. See if this will go in there without any issues. There we go. And then this one will go here. This one will go here. Why aren't you going? There it goes. Did I not get it all the way? Yeah. There we go. Another page done. This page was a gel print, and then I have one of these tear-off notepads that I picked up years ago. I'm still using them. I think I paid $3.99, or they were given to me. I don't remember. When we had Tuesday morning, and they're now gone. And another one of these hydrangeas. Soak the canes in the water and weave while wet and pliable. Yep. Next page. Here I found another gel print. It's not predominantly purple, but I liked it. It had purple down the middle. And so I thought, well, why don't we just glue that on the side and we'll use a piece of purple cardstock in it. Another scrap. It has a spot in the corner there, if you can see that. And I've got an idea for covering that spot up. So first, I'm going to glue down this pocket so that the glue can be setting up and drying before I try to put my card in it. And I'm going to set this over here for a second. And I went ahead and I stamped this, and I thought that would be pretty on there. But does it need more or just that? I kind of like the way that looks. I'm going to go with this. Glue this into place. So this is another rubber stamped image that I stamped onto white cardstock, and then I just used my watercolors to give it life and color. And then this will cover up that little spot, and it's like it never happened. So just because it has a spot doesn't mean you have to throw it out. Just cover it with something. All right, I'm going to put that in this pocket over here, but I'm not going to put it in yet. Did I forget? Where did it go? That's wild. I was going to put that circle thing in the pocket because I didn't use it there. And now I've misplaced it. That's wild. Okay. So here's another one of these gel print papers where I was mopping up the corners. And I was trying to decide what, oh, there it is. I was trying to decide what to put on the page. And I happened to find another piece of the gel print. And so you guys wouldn't have to wait on me. I got a doily and sprayed it with some purple tattered angels. And then these were made a long time ago. I had a full page of these butterflies that I cut with my Cricut, and I haven't used them all, so I thought they would be kind of pretty layered on top there. And I couldn't decide what to do up here, if I wanted to fill that space. I kind of feel like I want to put something up there. Let me look what I have here. You know, this might be good just to put across the page there. So you have something at the top and the bottom. I had saved these because I wasn't sure if I was going to use them. So I'm going to cut this down. So right about there. Well, we're at the halfway part of this journal using all my scraps. All right, let's add some distress inks to the edge I just cut. I'll go around. So this was a page that looks like I did some tattered angels through a stencil and did some stamping on it. So just got lots of texture. Now do I want to put that at the top? Yeah, I'm going to put it that way. Where'd it go? That's my famous saying. I forgot where I put it. You like it? Thank you, Jennifer. All right, let's put this up here. Okay. I think what I want to do is glue down the doily before I place it so that I don't get glue on the page in case I have too much glue. And this is a gel print, so I'm going to use some fabric tack. Kind of glue that in the middle. Make little dots. Little dots. Dot, 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 dot. And then, make sure I didn't get it turned too much. There we go. Smush. Smush. There we go. And let's glue this on top of there. I can just use Aleene's for that. Am I giving y'all some ideas of how to use those scraps that you have? I started a snippet out of paper, but I changed my mind about doing that because it was taking way too long for me to put it all together. So that may be something I do another day. Okay, let's put that on the page. I've used a lot of scraps in this series, but I still have an abundance. I have an abundance. Let's put that right about here. There we go. Now let's look at my word phrases again. This will go in the pocket. What do we got here? How about believe in yourself? That could be put on the page. How about right up there? Lots of little layers. And then this should fit in here. If I did it right. There we go. And then this page pocket can go there. And we've got room that more cards could be added later. All right, we've moved on. So this is a scrap left over from doing like Frankenpage stuff. And so I thought maybe a little pocket in the corner. So I'm going to glue that down. Lovely. Thank you, thank you. Just going to glue the corners. Kind of make that a tuck spot. This was an experiment I did with gesso, and I think those were soft pastels that I had. And then that's going to go in here. So do I want to put this coming off the edge a little bit? Yeah, let's do that. So I'm just going to add a little glue in the middle. And then position this where it's kind of going over the edge. But I don't want it to go too far beyond. There we go. And then that'll go in the pocket. Maybe, if I did it right. I may have to move it over just a little bit. Okay. So now we need to do something on this side. I didn't put away my little word phrases, so now they're in my way. You shall be banished from the desk for a moment. Okay. That's going to go there. What do I want to do on this side? And I need something for that one too, apparently. You know, we did this earlier, so I'm just going to do the Distress ink again. Just gives it color. And since I have one of these here, I'll just glue one of those in the corner. Quick! You really like that page? It's fun, huh? More scraps. All right, so we're going to let this dry. Dry! I'm going to lay a piece of paper in there because it feels like this is wet. And it's not coming off. I'm going to leave that there for a moment. All right, then we'll flip this over. So in the center here, I'll move everything out of the way so you can kind of see what it looked like. Where I don't know if this was, I think this is where we did plastic wrap and let it dry, and it gave it these weird textures. I don't remember if that's what that was. Well, hello, Sheila. Welcome. I have another one of these Tattered Angels painted papers. I thought it would be pretty on the page. And then this is a image out of a catalog for flowers that I thought could go here. And I don't have anything to put in the pocket yet, but I think it'll look good just allowing that to sit on there. And maybe what we'll do is dig around and see if I can find an element that could go on the page, in the pocket, I mean, as a card. I may have one of those watercolor pieces that I made in our first session. I think it might be narrow enough to fit in the pocket. And then we'll glue this here. Like it. We love it. We want more of it. I think I did a pretty good job of making all the pages blend together and do what I wanted. So again, if you don't have decorative paper, make your own using book pages. Let that dry. And then on this side, I have another mop-up paper. And then we made these little pieces, one of the sessions. So I'm just going to glue those down. Oh, you did that plastic wrap technique on a junky dining room set? I bet it was cool, wasn't it? Where you have wet paint and you put down the plastic wrap, let it dry, and it makes weird texture. Put that here. And let's glue this down as a pocket down here. Do I need to go up higher? I think right there is good. So it leaves you some writing space. I didn't add tabs on this one because the card I have is not very big. So I'm just going to add glue to the edges and put that down right there. I didn't show you my nails. They're kind of a green leaf. It's like a fern bamboo leaf, I guess, maybe. I'm trying to think what other name that would be. Clean up the excess glue. All right, let's look in my bin. I believe this will fit in here. Oh, I like that. Doesn't that look good? I like it. I like it a lot. I'm just going to lay that here. And let's go back to this page. And this is going behind. And I'll put this altered paper clip here. So it's kind of holding it in. Let's see. Is this... Okay, that didn't feel wet anymore. So let's put this in here. Okay, we got some ideas. Oh, here I just went ahead and glued down one of those tear off pages. It was, you had it for more than a decade? That's cool. That's cool. I've got an old table that we have removed from the interior of our home, and we've been trying to decide what we want to do with it because no one's picked it up by the street. So I may pull it around to the backyard and see if I can paint it. I wonder if I can cut this off here. All right, I did a little scrap of fabric there. So how about if, what do we want to do, stamp on it? I think I can make it somewhat sturdy enough. Let me grab another scrap of paper here. All right, so if I put that here, I don't want to keep using the same stamp over and over and over. Let's do something different. What else do I have here? Okay, I've got a couple of these butterfly stamps. I think these are from Tim Holt / Stampers Anonymous. Yep. So let's stamp these. In purple ink. Let's see what happens. If I kind of stamp those. Trying to get this. I'm going to move this over. My block was interfering with my papers, so I couldn't get it. I think that works. I mean, it's just something on the page. Let's clean the stamp off. Using some water. Okay. Put the block back, put the stamp back. Simple. No, huge thing. I was going to put this fabric on there, but I think I'll put it down the side. How's that? Just adding a little bit there. Dante is good. I've been working with him a lot on come and stay, sit and down, meaning where he lays down, and then the technique of bang. I need to work on going longer away from me and coming back, but it's been so hot outside. Outside's where I need to do that, and I haven't done it because of that. Okay, so I think on this page, I'm just going to glue down these little tear-off sheets. They kind of go that way, but I decided I would turn them sideways. Hi, Janice. I do still have some of the printed journal kits in my shop. Is there one that you're looking for in particular? And hello. I need to go in I took off because I had to pay for the subscription plug-in, and I need to go back through all of my kits and figure out how to do we're still trying to do turnaround. I was able to lure him with a treat going around and a toy, but he hasn't quite caught on completely. He's getting there though. And we've been trying to use the word off, like you said, when he needs to get off of us, when he decides to jump up. All right, so this page, what do I have here? Oh, okay. I have a piece of purple paper that has little lines on it that I thought would be pretty down the sides. And then I have another one of these tear-off pages. And then this is a watercolor piece that I made a while back. So I was kind of thinking just something like that, where you can still see the music at the top. Just saw some on the side. Gotcha. Yeah, I still have quite a few of several of them in my shop. If it lets you add it to the cart, then I have some. That's kind of how that works. It should tell you how many I have left when you're looking at it. I try to do the inventory thing. I think all the digital stuff I still need to go in and fix so you can download them. Okay, so now I think I put this here and put that one there. I'm going to glue this one down. More scraps. I gotta be careful because there are holes in the base page and I don't want it to glue to the next page behind. So if I put this right about here, and then put this one like that, I kind of feel like since we've done the others, didn't we? We stamped on that one. Come on now, cooperate with me. Did I do any more? Yeah, let's do something with this one before I glue it down. A scrap of paper. Yeah, I still have that. Oh, this one's kind of interesting. It's just got some weird text all the way around. So I'm just going to hold it in my hand and kind of adding some texture to it. Clean the stamp off, put it back. All right, move that away. We're almost done. All right, I'll glue that up here and then glue the watercolor piece on top. It's funny because I did that watercolor piece because I was like, oh, I don't know. Let me try stamping on top of it. And I was like, well, it's not my favorite, but I guess I can use it sometime. Well, I'm using it finally. Get that out of the way, and that'll go right there. Okay, and let's get a word phrase. How about today is full of possibilities? And I'll just put it down here on the bottom. Tomorrow I'm supposed to go see my dog groomer because I'm going to teach her how to sew. This should be interesting. Okay, I like that. On this side, in my cover photo for the live stream, this piece of paper was in the basket or the box that I showed. And I thought, well, I might as well use it. So I'm going to place it closer to the top because during one of our live streams, I made this piece and I thought it would look good down here at the bottom. So I'm just going to glue this directly on the page. I'm going to try to hurry because I wanted to show y'all the pages for the kit that I want to work on. Well, the pages to the kit that I was told to work on by somebody because she wanted something fall related. Okay. And let's use this glue to glue the pocket down. That's a gel print too. And just, remember, when you're making gel prints, if they don't come out perfect, it's okay. If they have a little bit of color on them, they're going to look kind of cool as a background where you can put other stuff over the top of it or cut it up into smaller pieces and make pockets and layer on top of those pockets. Cut it into strips and use part of that strip to decorate a page or make a journal card. It was Jennifer. That is correct. Ding, ding, ding. Who, me? Too funny. And this is going to go in the pocket. And I think that's all that page needs. You like it? I hope. Let's turn the page. Okay, here I just went ahead and glued down one of those watercolor flowers that I made a while back. And then this is just a gel print on here. And it looks like I got another blank paper here. So we need to do something. Let's get out another stencil. Well, I haven't used this one today. Well, my hands are getting filthy, so I guess I'm just going to go with it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's kind of go around the edges. Yeah. All righty. I've been reading in the evenings before we go to bed at night to kind of help wind down a little bit. And I have picked up The Black Beauty. I used to love that book when I was a kid, and I haven't read it in a long time. So I decided to reread that one. Your eyes, we can't look at a blank page. No, of course not. We have to put stuff on it, right? I'm just cleaning my hands off. Okay, I like that. And since we have this side, I don't know. I kind of like doing the stenciling. It's my shtick, I know. But this one is a different. I can't remember if this is in a subscription month of the Stencil Club, or if this was called, I don't think this was called Scattered Flowers. I can't remember. I have so many stencils. Okay, that works. Just adding a little bit. Okay. I'm going to have to clean a bunch of stencils. I have this little image that I didn't use on another page. I think it goes this way, though. So I'm going to put that up there. It was a good story. So I'm halfway through the book right now. You got a favorite book that maybe you read many, many, many years ago and you're ready to reread, or you're in the process of rereading it? My mom would reread books a lot. She liked her books. Okay. What do we want to do on this page? Do I have a place to use those? Maybe. I'm almost done. I wonder if I should cut this. No, I don't like that. Don't like it, not going to do it. I have some more little butterflies. And, oh, I have a dragonfly. We could put a dragonfly on the page. Kind of in the corner there. And let's stamp. So I'll put this here. Let's see if I can get a good one. That'll be good. And then I'll put the dragonfly on top. I've been somewhat paying attention to, but rewatching the Harry Potter movies. I'm on the last one. I think I only have 45 minutes left of it, but I did that while I was preparing for today. Watched one of the last movies today. All right, so should this go across the top or down the side? And while you're contemplating that, wonder if I should get a little piece of paper here. Is that too much on the nose to add that? I may have a bigger piece in a different color. Oh, that might be better. It's too big to go this way, so I think we're going to go this way. And I'm just going to put it on the side. And I may create that as a tuck spot. Maybe we'll find something here. I've got this little card I could stick in there. This is one of those trying different techniques using watercolor on a watercolor paper, and what does it do, you know, adding colors on the different sides, see how well you can blend it together. You basically, you wet the paper and with water, and then you come in and drop color on it, and that's where it kind of starts that feathering look. Side tuck. Yeah, side. Julie said across the top. Then she said, yeah, okay, do the side top. Poor Julie. She got vetoed. Opposite side of the equator. That's what she is. All right. And then this was just strips of watercolor paper that I just made little blocks. Just for fun. I don't know. I'll put a little glue. Oh, I put it on the wrong side, but that's okay. I was trying to pay attention, but didn't. I'm listening to 80s music. Well, come on, Eileen. Come on, Eileen. Everything. I don't know, maybe a little piece of fabric on there. I'm using all those scraps. Yeah, because she's in spring and we're doing summer slash, well, she just came out of summer or winter, I mean, and now we're winding down our winter to come into fall. So she has sunshine on Christmas where we have cold days. I think I'm going to put a little drop of glue down here. So it's a tuck spot, but it'll be higher up because they'll flop around. Summer, winter. Alrighty, and well, we might as well see if we can find, let's find a flower. Maybe, if I have one. I have pinks. There might be a purple one in there. Let's get out the leaves. This one's kind of a lavender color. Well, now I'm listening to ZZ Top. She's got legs. All right, so do I want to put this on here? And that would tuck in. Or do we want to put this on here to where it's coming off the page just a little bit? We start our daylight savings the first Sunday of October. Yeah, I think they were supposed to stop doing that, right? I don't know if it ever passed. Okay. I think this is where I want it. Yeah, on that side. On the tuck. Okay. I heard you. I heard you, Sheila. You like it? Okay, good. This going the right way. Yeah, here. There. And then this will go in the tuck. What else? What else? What else? What else? I don't think I've done Destiny is Calling. So let's put that up here on the page. So there's still room to write on that page if you want. Put that here. Okay. I'm liking it. All right, we didn't have anything for this side, so what if I put this in the corner? And I fussy cut this out earlier, but I haven't colored it. It's an iris, and my mother always loved irises, so I was thinking of I could paint it real fast or just glue it down. What do you think? I gotta hurry. Just adding some distress ink to the edges. Yeah, I think Arizona doesn't participate. I think you're correct, Amanda. Purple. Lighter shade of purple. And my water brush. And what else? Oh, I need green, don't I? I don't like that shade of green. Here's a good green. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is glue this down in the corner here. And then let's quickly, Linda, fast. I'm going to come in here. And add a little bit of color. There's two of them. And a lighter pink go on here. Okay, let's paint that real fast. I need a paper towel, clean off my brush. Quick. I need to get a yellow. I may grab a marker for the yellow. Getting there. Okay, I'll do this one. I had a few irises bloom this year. I need to move some and dig some up because they've been there for so long. You have to divide them every so often. If you don't divide them, then they won't keep producing flowers. and then they'll just eventually die. So I need to do that. It's just been too hot. I'm hoping by September there'll be enough cool that we'll be able to work out in the garden a little bit, prepping it for the winter and for what's going to grow next year. We planted watermelon and cantaloupe, tomatoes, peppers, different varieties of peppers. Early in the year, I had lettuce, but it's been too hot for lettuce. I might be able to do a winter crop. I'm hoping that I can bring my lettuce growing station into the greenhouse. Okay, let me get a yellow marker. Oh, it must be laying over here. There it is. I knew I had one. I think that's what I want. It's just a little bit of yellow. It just stands out better. Okay. And let's add some distress inks and glue this down. On the opposite page here, I went ahead and just started gluing everything down. These were all scraps that were in my box of goodies, and I just layered them on the page until I covered the whole book page. And then I had a napkin that was attached to a book page, and I made a pocket out of that. And then in the pocket are a couple of cards. This was a scrap of purple paper I had, and I decided to round the corners because this one already had the corners rounded. So it looks like they're supposed to be together. Okay. I'll put that kind of like here. See, I used that little fake doily. See, this is a doily die that I had. You were talking about that, Julie. This is a small doily die that I have. I think it's one. I'm not positive. I think I got it off of eBay. I'm not sure. Thank you, Julie. Well, the squirrels have decimated my watermelons this year. And the squash bugs, or boar beetles, however you want to call those, decimated my cantaloupe. Thankfully, I did get a couple out of each, but yeah, I was not happy. How about, let's put Create Magic here at the bottom. I think I'm going to create a whole different area next year because, well, Henry says he has a solution to permanently remove squirrels. So I may not have squirrels next year. I don't know, but I'm going to prepare that we might have them. This is just another gel print. I think I'm going to add that to the page just as it is. I think I have some coffee dyed images that I stamped. Images I stamped on coffee dyed paper. Where did I see those a moment ago? I just saw them. No, that's not it. Oh, you know what? I should look through here. We're running out of time. We're running out of time. Where are those now? They were too close to the front, and so I had skipped past them. All right, I have lavender. That would look pretty on there. And then let's see if there's something. Does it matter? Okay, I think it goes that way. I think that would be a good, maybe a tuck spot in the corner there. And maybe we can find a card. See, I used another one, Jennifer. I'm putting them at the front so I remember to give them back to you. All right, let's add some color to this page. I think I'll do it with the stamp pad again. My book is starting to get fat, so I can't get to the edge. Here we go. Your mom got just chipmunks, yeah? Time for them to go. That's kind of what I'm doing. I can only try. That's right. You love it? Yay! Okay, so we're going to put this one down here. And I'm going to see if I have a purple card. Is that bigger? That might work in there. I'm digging. Okay, so I have this paper that's rather flimsy, so I'm going to fold it in half. And I think what we'll do is if I put it in the pocket there, that'll look good. So I'm going to glue this down. Make sure I have to go in the right way. Go across here, up this edge. We'll let that glue dry. And this glue, I love it. I was trying to do a variety of things in this journal so it wasn't so matchy-matchy. I mean, yes, there are some things I repeated, but for the most part, we tried to do something unique because we were using scraps. Add some distress inks to this. Do the back side. So this would go in here and that would go in there. And do I have something else? I have this. I'm going to cut a little piece of it. Let's see. Let's make it about 3.5 inches, maybe 4. And let's see how big this is. So if we do it about, what was this one? So I did it 6. It could go in the back. I'm going to do 6.5. More purple papers purposely used today. That there's alliteration, y'all. Okay. We're getting there a little at a time. I think that looks good. Love it. All right, so over here, I have another one of these little pocket pieces. And then I have this purple paper. I'm going to just glue this down. And we can't have plain paper everywhere, right? So do I want to put this over here, or do we want to glue it to the back side of this page? I think we're going to put it over here. And let's put some stenciling on this page. Find one that I haven't used today. This one is kind of good. Put this on. This journal is getting chunky. This one's a lot more open. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed today's session. I'm getting to a point that we're going to stop here. I think that looks good. And I'm going to glue this on this side. It's another one of those Tattered Angel sprayed papers. I cut it up to smaller pieces so I could use it in this journal. Okay. What else do I have here that can go? That's going to go in the pocket. Let's see if I have anything in here. I've got these stickers, but you know, they're such a pain in the tukish. Let's see if there's one that's already done. Oh, there's one that's kind of purple. Let's see if there's any more. I think that'll work. Then I don't have to deal with trying to peel the sticker. Or I could use one of these. They're called petals. You know what? Oh, wow. All right, here's what I'm going to do is leave it. I'm going to glue it back to this piece of backer paper. I think they were supposed to be self-adhesive, but the adhesive is stuck to the paper. So I'm going to use my scissors and cut this out. I'm not very good at just cutting a random shape, y'all. There. I used it. Got rid of another thing in my scraps of stuff. Let's add some distress inks to this piece and glue it down. You found more doilies? It's been fun. Thank you, Sheila. It's time for dinner, isn't it? All right, let's glue this down. All right, I think... Oh, I just have one more. I've got this out in case we're going to use it, but I haven't yet. So I'm going to put this book page here. This was dyed with blackberries a couple of years ago when I had an abundance of blackberries. I stamped over it, and then I decided that I wanted to put this piece. I think I'm just going to glue it at the top in case you wanted to flip it up. Maybe something would go underneath it. And we can see the pretty paper behind. And I've got this little watercolor piece I thought would go right there. Well, Julie, you don't have to buy any more doilies, right? Bigger than you wanted, but you can cut them into smaller pieces. Okay, well, there we go. Let's stamp it. Get my stamp here. I was thinking about putting pockets in the front and the back cover, but I didn't get that far, so we'll just leave it like it is. And this is August 24th, right? Yep. There we go. All right, let's start at the beginning, and we're going to flip through this really fast. I'm not going to pull everything out of the pockets, but then we're going to flip that over. Got pocket there. Added this little strip. Again, all these were leftover scraps and bits and pieces that I had, and I hadn't used them, so I decided to just find a way to use them today and last week. Got lots of little layers here. It's a relatively simple journal page. For some reason, this page wants to keep sticking. Is it? I think it's dry finally. Thank you, Jennifer. And then these will come out. So you can write on them any way, this way you like. I got it done. Another pocket there, pocket here. And this pocket's big enough that we can put bigger cards in it. I don't know if this one will fit. It'll have to be a little bit smaller. And then adding a journal card here. Lots of cool stuff. Just a variety of things throughout. This is kind of one of my favorite layouts here, I think. I like the colors. I got it done. It's finished. Let's go in there. I got this out, but I didn't use it. Put this down there. Was there a page that needed something else? I don't think so. I think we did pretty good of adding lots of pretties, and then we can still tie it shut. All right, so real quickly, I'll show you the kit that I'm going to work with. I grabbed a few things already. Let's move this over here. I have a bunch of these little butterflies. I thought, I got to try to use those. This was sent to me in some Happy Mail a while back. Thank you, whoever it was, because I don't remember. I made this because it was in the scraps, and I thought maybe it would be good to use with the kit. And then this was just some paper I found while I was sorting that I thought we could use. And then I've got some fussy cut elements. I think I may try to put in a few of these fairies. They're from Calico Collage. I don't know. I've got a few of them. I know that they have more spring colors to them, but I thought maybe I could pick the ones that have a little bit more softer peachy tones. And then this is the kit that I think it's called Woodland Forest or Woodland Floor. I can't remember. But it has the mushrooms, and it's got some bunny rabbits, some more mushrooms. It's got some teal in it, so I need to pull some teals to use. And I may not use all these pages unless I make it a big journal, like a 3-signature journal. Because I've got quite a few pages here I can use. I think these are all one-sided, but there's some prints that I went ahead and made sure to have that Norella offers as part of the kit. So lots of mushrooms and lots of colors. Lots of fun, lots of fun. So I think this will be a fun one, and I'm going to go through my scraps again and see what I can find to pull for it. See now why I thought maybe this would be good. This orange paper, and maybe not use the whole thing, but if you cut it to a smaller piece, it's not so glaring. And then I've got these little pieces. So I've got to start. I got to put it in the little, I've been keeping it in this little envelope. So we'll see what we can do with that starting next week. And I'm going to clean up my space here of all these scraps and file those away. I hope you enjoyed today. I hope that it gives you some inspiration and ideas to use those scraps that you have that you're like, what do I do with this? And maybe cover it up with something else. Maybe it wasn't the perfect gel print or mixed media background that you made, but you can't throw it away. You have to do something with it. Well, here you go. Here's something you can do with it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, well, it's time to get out of here. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I greatly appreciate your support. I'm so thankful that y'all will spend the time with me, whether you're listening in the background while you're doing other things or you are active chatting with me. I love all of those. So thank you so very much for being here. So I'm putting everything away as I think about it and talk to y'all. Next week, like I said, we'll work on that forest. I don't remember, woodland forest. I'll get the name in the description box when I get it done. Y'all have to remember to be kind to everyone out there. You never know what someone else is going through, and words of encouragement may make their day that much more better when they were probably ready to give up. And do something creative this week. Get in your stash of stuff and make something. Hey, and Amanda, I'd love to see a photo of your pretty containers that you have. Share that. You can send them to me direct, or you can send them to the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. If y'all haven't joined, please do join that group. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Everyone have an amazing week. Know that you're loved and cared for. I hope to see you in the chat next week, but if I not, I understand. I appreciate you taking the time to be here today. Y'all take care. Bye, everybody.